втора и трета. Или втора и четвърта. Добре, окей. Мисля, не че днеска не е задушевно повтаряте тук.
Няма нищо.
Ще да чакам още 5 минути.
Да. Чао. Лори ще дойде, но малко по-късно.
Да,
Добре.
все така.
Окей. Върви ли?
Върви, разбира се.
Какво сме се спора с запис от нелепа?
Ще
Нещо
го
не
качим.
успя да го дръпна от YouTube и си стои така, в смисъл, завъртян и не както трябва.
Ага.
Ще го оправя.
Добре, окей. Ще изчакам още 5 минути. Две.
На 30 скамета.
2 минути. 30.
Карам 3.
Няма да чакам толкова.
Не беше ли
Няма да чакам толкова. И така. Как върви при вас? Нещо интересно някой да разкаже от работата? Айде дес.
Аз вече съм сладко, съжалявам.
Стито на печелившите.
Почнаха сутрите, раздели на гости, и гледали какви нормални, не знам какви нормални.
Чудно.
Това е хубаво. Това е много.
Аз съм доволен, че съм си вкъщи. С нов компютър свалих си някаква друга игра.
О, така се прави.
Чивка.
Така се прави. Ти пък как имаш такова, бе? Свободни дни.
Има и как, като цяла година нямам, накрая ми се събират.
Да, накрая заслужена почивка.
Абсолютно. Другата година няма да имам време за почивка, защото двама човека трябва някой да обучава.
Okay.
Айде да почваме вече.
Alright. Eyes to me. Hello, dear friends, Toastmasters, and guests. Welcome to our Toastmaster meeting on the, what is it today? 19th of December, 2018. Our last meeting for this year. So what is Toastmasters? I guess you already know, most of you. It's an educational organization. It started in the 1930s in America with the first Toastmaster ever, the guy who had the grand idea, Ralph Smedley. From that moment on, the club grew into a worldwide organization devoted to educating people about, firstly, public speaking, hence the name Toastmasters. And further, as it further grew, so grew the idea of Toastmasters, and now it's not only dwells in the deeps of public speaking, but also educates people in developing leadership skills, developing mentoring skills, developing interpersonal communicational skills, and so on. How do we do this? Well, introducing our new Pathways system. It's an online platform available for each and every member with 10 different specialized paths you can choose from to guide you on your journey in Toastmasters. From our Pathways system, you can achieve different goals, reach different resources, and of course, use the vast web of knowledge that is on the Toastmasters organization site. So I hope that you visit, you use the Pathway system, and you have a lot of fun with it. With all that being said, I want to tell you all to have a good night, and I declare the meeting open. Coming up next is our Toastmaster of the evening, Simon.
Thank you. Thank you, Leso, for the great opening of our last meeting for this year. Now, As a Toastmaster of the evening, it is my main duty to lead you through the agenda and be your host for tonight. But before we go into that, I would please urge you to turn up the sound of your phone, if you haven't, and try not to interrupt the speakers that are here. Everyone will get a chance to speak tonight, so let's all of us wait our turns. I saw you making those eyes, rolling your eyes, but yes, everyone will speak tonight. With that being said, the meeting is organized in a certain pattern. First, we begin with our prepared speeches. Tonight we have only one speaker, Angel Angelov. And after we hear his speech, there will be two evaluations. The first will be done by each and every one of us, the listeners, which will be a quick evaluation using the sheets of paper that are in front of us. And then we will hear a formal evaluation by Veselin Stoyanov, which will be a more thorough evaluation by an experienced evaluator and Toastmaster member. Then we have the table topic session, which again will be led by Veselin Stoyanov, in which we usually have to speak impromptu or unprepared, because that's how most conversation in our everyday lives happens. And more information about the session itself will be given by the table topics master, which will be again Veselin Stoyanov. And then we have a team of evaluators. We have evaluators because in public speaking there are a lot of things that we need to think about, like time management, grammar, are we speaking understandably, audibly, without interruptions, and so on. And you can see that we have a timer, an counter, a grammarian, and a general evaluator as roles, not as people, because two of our lucky guests will fill up some of those roles tonight. Because, as you know, it's near Christmas. Most people have already bought their presents. Some are right now buying their presents, and we're a bit short-staffed for tonight. So we will need some proactive spirit from
I'll
our
be
guests
the
tonight.
on counter.
Would you like to be a timer?
No,
Why?
I'm not the best with time.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
then you can
Exactly.
be an counter.
Yeah.
I suggested timer because you, out of all of the guests here, have been a more frequent guest and you kind of know how it goes.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to, I will not push you.
Yeah, I like the on counter.
Okay, you'll be the uncounter. You have been the uncounter
Yeah.
before, so no explanation for you. But to the rest, the uncounter listens very diligently to our speakers and writes down every filler words that our speakers use, such as pauses, unnecessary interruptions or repetitions of words, things that kind of break the sentence down and really lowers the quality of your speech. So the encounter tonight will be Kirill.
Christo Kirill.
Christo Kirill.
Kirill.
Okay, my mistake, Christo. And we need a timer. We have two guests, two ladies that can both, one of them at least, take part in our meeting. So I please urge you, we do need a timer.
Okay, I can try to be.
Okay, thank you. Now, a quick explanation of the timer, or the role of the timer. As you can see, everybody has a certain time frame in which he or she has to speak. Like for instance, I have to speak between 8 and 10 minutes. And it is the timer's role to signal me. When I reach the first, the 8-minute mark that is shown here, she has to show me the green card, which means that I am in the appropriate time frame. And if I wish, I may sit down or I may continue speaking. When I reach the middle of my time frame, which is the 9th minute, in my case, she will show me the yellow card, which means that my time is almost up. I can wrap up as quickly as possible and think about sitting down and letting the next person have the stage and speak in front of me. But when I extend over or rather go over my time period, the 10-minute mark in my case, she will show me the red card, which means that I have gone over time. And we do need to keep an eye of our timing, because in order to be good at public speaking and be informative enough and yet not bore people too much, we have to be in the correct time frames. So between green and red, that's where we want to be. That's the sweet spot. So I give this to you. And if you have any questions, signal me and I will come right to you and give you further explanations if need be.
Yes, I was just going to add that it's good to know at the end of the meeting, you will also be called to give a report on how each of us did. So maybe you can use the time on your phone to follow exactly how much time each of us uses.
Okay.
Yes, keep track of everyone's timing, take down notes, and at the end, you can give us that information in order to help us be better next time, if need be. Then we have the grammarian, which tonight will be Cristiana, and she will explain, actually, her role herself. She's ready.
Yes, I'm already writing. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, thank you. No need. As you can tell by the name of my role, I will keep track of your grammar, of any usage of improper grammar, but also usage of good English grammar. If I hear a good sentence, a good idiom, a good word that you use, I will write it down, and at the end, I'll give my report. Also for tonight, I have chosen a word of the day and an idiom of the day, as you can see all on your agendas. The word of the day is admonish. This is a verb. It actually has a lot of meanings, but tonight we'll start just with one. And it means advise or urge someone earnestly. And the example is, she admonished him to drink more than one glass of wine. And the idiom of the day is that's the last straw, or also known as the straw that breaks the camel's back, which means to be the last in a sequence of unpleasant things, to lose patience. And the example that I have chosen is, she has been unhappy with him for a long time, but when he crashed her car, it was the last straw. I would appreciate it if you use the word and the idiom of the day every time you speak, as I will also keep track of that, and at the end I will announce the winners. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, we have the captain of the evaluation team, which is the general evaluator, which tonight will be Valentina. And as a general evaluator, she has to evaluate generally. Generally speaking, that means that she has to evaluate everything organization-wise when it comes to the meeting. Did we start on time? Were the speeches appropriate? The evaluators, the other evaluators did their job diligently and correctly. So everything that happens in our meeting. With that being said, I think it's time to welcome our speaker, Angel Angelov. The speech title is Mentorship, a Stepping Stone to Great Achievements. And the purpose is to actually give us a story, I believe, in which he was a protege, and how a mentorship, in his case, has helped him in a certain situation. So with that being said, welcome Angel Angelov, Mentorship, a Stepping Stone to Great Achievements.
Thank you. Dear Toastmasters, has any of you ever had a case when you're speaking here and then when you finish, you have a dreadful feeling of what you did wrong, of how bad it all was, and sit down without knowing how life will go on? Well, that's good. Because I had it too, so I'm not the only case. But you know, this is not something really to fear. It's something that happens to everyone. And actually, what Toastmasters is giving us is the chance to leave this place, to improve, and to find in ourselves the confidence the ingenuity, and the talent maybe to go beyond this point of struggle when you're starting to do something new. And I had this moment, I remember very carefully, very well, this moment when I first wanted to do translations on stage from English to Bulgarian. It was a nice time that I had been to a nice place in the mountains with some friends. There were some English people there, very interesting guys, so they had a lot to share, but not everyone could speak English. I could speak English at the time. I was 16, but very eager to meet new people, to get involved in exciting things. So I really wanted to do something fun. And I said, why not? I'll be the translator. How hard can it be? I mean, I know the words, so yeah, I did it. And it worked. But the way it worked for the guys was fine. But for me, it was not fine, because when I sat down, I was trembling, I was feeling bad because I was trying to translate the words as exactly as possible, but somehow they didn't fit. And I was trying to convey the message nicely, but somehow I was very nervous. And I didn't know what to do with my hands, and my voice was trembling at some point, and I was looking at the ceiling a lot. And I realized it's much harder than it looks. You could know the language. You could have the passion and desire to do it, but it's not just that. So I needed help, and I had to get it. Who I turned to was a friend of mine who was already doing this kind of translations on stage live, and she had experience, more than 2 years actually. Her name is Stanimira Vasileva. She was a great English teacher, so I went to her and asked her, can you please come next time when there is something like that, because it was going to be repeating for a couple of days, and just help me, because I need your help. I want to improve, I don't know how. And she said, of course, don't worry. Next time I'll be there, so you focus on me. Don't get embarrassed or worried, and we'll talk afterwards. And then what happened is actually that when she observed my style and the way that I perform, she was able to guide me to prepare better and better every time that I did it. And also set some long-term goals for training myself, for adjusting my attitude even and my emotional state when doing that. So basically she told me, you know what, I think you're doing great in terms of translating the words. But the biggest idea when you're doing it live is not only to translate the words, but to convey the whole meaning, to capture the atmosphere, to be able to translate also his emotions and his charge to the audience.
Welcome.
So what you have to do, she said, is not focus that much on the words, but try to do things that he does. Try to mimic his voice. Try to be as much as possible closer to the way that he presents it and he captures the audience. And I said, okay, but if he's jumping, should I jump? No, but it's going to be funny. Okay, yeah, he wants to be funny, so should you. Because next time, when you're translating, he's jumping on the funny stuff, and what you're doing on the funny stuff. Okay. So, of course, it's not fun, and it's not going to be the same. So, later on, we also did talk about other things, such as vocal variety, such as being able to basically understand the message that the person is speaking about and trying to represent it as close as possible, not just using his own words, but actually translating it even in your own culture, using idioms and other words that can be a trigger for the audience to experience the same thing that the speaker is talking about. A little at a time, I gained more and more confidence, and I realized that actually the level of your language is not all that important. But it's also very important to, first of all, believe in yourself, keep the good attitude active all the time, and stay positive no matter what happens. And of course, focus on your main target, which is to deliver the message as a complete package. Not only to be understandable, but also to be fun and enjoyable for the audience as well as for yourself and the speaker. After that, I can tell you that I've had a lot of sessions like this. And every time I would remember those things. And every time I would realize that it's this attitude and confidence paired with my own emotions about the message I was translating that made the magic happen. So this mentorship for me was really great, and after some time actually, it helped me to improve to the point where I could start to be a mentor for other people who wanted to do the same thing. And I encourage every one of you, you should try it. Because a great protege, a person who needs a mentor, is always willing to learn, always positive, and always proactive, seeking help. Because there are a lot of people with experience who would gladly support you and basically be the best stepping stone in your growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Angelov. We seem to have some disagreement on when the
Should I
card.
show green card on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
8th or on the 5th?
On every person there's a time
You
frame.
show the green one when it reaches the first number. The yellow one when it's been in between,
Yeah.
and the red one when the
You're exactly on time.
I know. Not a problem.
I will give a better explanation, but
Because I
before that,
understood 8 minutes,
No, it
green
was
card.
I will give an explanation in a short bit, but before that, we just heard the speech, and as it is still fresh in our minds, it's time to give a bit of feedback
Okay.
on the speaker. Think about the speech purpose, share a story that has his mentoring or protege experience, and also think about the speech as a whole, the presenter, body language, eye contact, usage of voice. Think about the speech's organization, the word choices, everything you liked and didn't like the speech. And by the way, you have about a minute, so be quick. And when you're ready, please do put your piece of paper inside of this box. And make sure that it reaches its final destination. Yes. I would admonish you to be a bit quicker in your feedback. Write me down. Well, I think everyone, yes, everyone is done with their feedback. Are you done with your feedback? Mr. Speech Evaluator, or do you need more time?
Because I would require more time.
You will require more time. Okay, then I would want to lead you into a bit of a discussion, except you, because
Oh, why
you
not?
have
I
some
might
time
join
to
in.
finish up.
Might join in.
Yes, so a bit of a discussion. Every meeting we pick a quote of the night, or rather Toastmasters evening does. And as you can see on the agenda, the quote for tonight is, "A man who procrastinates in his choosing will inevitably have his choice made for him by circumstance." Hunter S. Thompson. Do you know who Hunter Thompson is?
I don't.
Yeah, I didn't also. I like the quote, so I checked him out. Turns out he was an American author and mainly journalist who kind of gave birth to the gonzo journalism. And gonzo journalism is that type of journalism where the journalist infiltrates or becomes a part of, let's say, a group of people which are the subject of his study. Yes. And he was famous for writing a book about Hell's Angels. He became a Hell's Angels member for about a year, lived amongst them the way they lived their lives. And he wrote a book, I think it was 1967 or something like that. That was his breakthrough. And he was an interesting man because he was a fan of alcohol and narcotics. I mean, there was actually in the newspaper, someone followed him throughout the day and said that his morning began with a glass of whiskey and a cigar. It ended with sleeping pills, and all between were cheeseburgers, spaghetti, and cocaine. So he lived a very strange but energizing lifestyle, and you can see why he would be against procrastination. But maybe it is impossible for him to procrastinate, but not for me. I love procrastinating. I don't know about any of you, but as far as I know, most people struggle with procrastination. And I really like this quote, because if you do not act, things will continue, but without your actions being a part of anything else. People will make your decisions themselves. So what do you find as a cure for procrastination in your daily lives? Help me be less of a procrastinator in my own. Maybe share a story or give us something like a remedy for procrastination.
I can share that it's really very powerful quote, even translated into business, because daily sometimes people use it as a weapon. They basically weaponize procrastination because they are aware how much people are under its influence. So in some cases, there are ideas which shouldn't happen. And people who don't want those ideas to happen basically are trying to make the whole team procrastinate as much as possible until the deadline is so close that they have to be making concessions of various types, and then those ideas either fail or are changed to a way that sometimes you can't even understand the initial idea. Because when you don't have time, you act not rationally, you act with whatever is available, with how much time you have left. And as I said, this is even weaponized sometimes for people to achieve their goals. Because the other were procrastinating, they lost the time window they had to make an impact.
Yes, I agree with that. But also, there was another quote, I think, by Bill Gates. He said that he loved procrastinators because they can condense the work of a couple of weeks in just a matter of days, because they have no other choice being procrastinators. But as you said, that probably reflects on the quality.
Yeah.
It depends what type of work you're doing. I am a procrastinator myself, and you ask what's the remedy. Honestly, I don't think it's such a bad thing. But question is, why are you procrastinating? For instance, I found out that I'm procrastinating as a way of recharging my creative energy, my mental energy, and I need it. And as you mentioned, this what I think Bill Gates is talking about is absolutely the same case, where your creative energy is depleted at some point, and you need some time off with your favorite thing in order to be back online. And then you can really condense a lot of work during those runs of efficient working. But there are a lot of people who procrastinate because they are afraid to do something, because they are lazy, of course, and they want to reward themselves without actually deserving that. So the best remedy for these types of procrastination, I would say, is to speak about what the results of the procrastination would be, first of all, and then to make a very clear plan. Because normally procrastination is associated with your lack of motivation, and making a clear plan, even drawing some agenda, would really help you make the task seem more simple and not as tedious.
Okay. This-
I agree with him about, like, there's really a positive side of procrastination. As a procrastinator, I would say it. Sometimes it can be even funny and it makes you work faster, so you get used to it. And about the bad type of procrastination, maybe when you don't want to do something and you're procrastinating, that's another kind of choice too. It's your choice to procrastinate, so it's a choice, like, and it has consequences equal to those who don't.
Anyone else?
You know.
Are there any non-procrastinators here?
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell me,
Really?
give me some life advice?
I have a little bit different point of view on procrastination. In my opinion, it is a habit. I think that because, not that I'm not a procrastinator, but I consider myself now to be way, way, way better than I was before. Because I realized that I'm procrastinating, and every time I do it, it started in school. Let's be honest. I always procrastinating doing my homework. I procrastinated studying for my exams. I procrastinated doing the dishes until the last minute my mom is home. And this becomes a habit since since we're all kids, right? But when you realize it, because in the business world, just like Angel said, okay, maybe there is a good thing to procrastination, which I don't know, I just don't see it that way. But in the business world, in the real world, procrastination is not good, in my opinion, because when you have something to do and you don't think, should I do it, and you don't lose time thinking, should I do it or should I not do it, and you just act on it, you actually save a lot of time and energy. Let's be honest, we just lose energy thinking, should we do it or should we not do it? For example, today, because I said to myself, I made a plan to run because I want to complete a marathon, and I woke up 7 a.m. and I knew that if I didn't get out of bed, I wouldn't go run. And what I did was, I just remembered that I told myself, let's do it. And you promise yourself, and if you don't do it now, you're a quitter. And I just act on it. I stopped thinking about it, should I do it or not? I just act.
That's very nice. By the way, this reminds me of something that I think about procrastination. Is the point that you wanted a remedy. So what helped me to baby steps, right? To chop the assignment into little pieces. Because the assignment as a whole may seem challenging, and you don't want to do it, but when you bring bring the structure down to a few little assignments, like first let's start with this, and then let's do this, and when you start building the picture together, then it seems it's possible, and it's not that hard to do it. So a big turn off to do something is because it's too hard, or I don't have the time. This is the second thing. It's time, because you chop into little bits. Those little bits take less time than you might think actually, and this actually gives you more stimulus to do it, because it's not that hard. It's not that time consuming. It's not this drag you imagine it to be. So you just get up, 5 minutes, it's done, right? But yeah, I'm a big procrastinator myself, so this is something that I found that helped me to do it.
This meeting is turning to Procrastinators Anonymous.
Not anonymous though.
We stand behind our procrastination.
The thing
We
is,
confess.
I don't feel like I'm lazy. I'm not lazy. When I have to do something, I do it. It's just, I don't know.
You just don't want to do it now.
Okay.
Maybe some of our guests would like to.
I can add something to that.
All right.
I have a slightly different view, and I personally don't see anything negative about finding some me time from time to time, because I have been a very different person to what Christiana just said. I've always been at 7 a.m., always doing lots of things, and at the end of the day, you're very burned and you don't have any time for anything else. So I recently read a quote from the CEO of the Portugal Airlines, not sure what was his name. What he said was, when I'm interviewing someone, I tend to ask those people, what books do you like to read? And when I hear I don't have any time for books, I never ever go and hire that person. And they ask me, why is that? Because if you don't have any time for yourself, then you don't have any rest, and you can't be you can't do your best, and what is the point then? Yes, definitely. So and the second question is, how do you spend your leisure time? Do you have time for your family? And when they say no, I usually like to work during the weekends, and I usually do my work even during the weekend, then the same answer again, because that's their life, which means that they don't have anything else to do, and I don't find those kind of people being as productive as everybody else. So that was his point of view, in a way. Not sure if it's helpful for anyone who likes to procrastinate. So
But
there are those kind of people
My-
too.
My idea was like what you said about, for example, a book that you want to start or something productive that you want to start. But instead, you're like, maybe I'm not gonna start to read this book today. Maybe I'll just watch some television and I'll do it tomorrow. And this was my idea, that it's not all about work. It shouldn't all be about work or anything. You should have free time, me time, family time, but act on it. When you have family time, okay, I do have family time. I'm not gonna give any excuses that I have work to do or have something to do.
But there are different kinds of people. That's what I was trying to say. That there are people who are very pushy. I used to be one of those people, so I've never been. Oh, let's have 5 more minutes. No, never. And it's not going to work. It's not giving the best results too. So finding the balance, probably that's the best remedy I would suggest. And it's different balance for everyone, different for me, different for you, different for all of us basically. It's not a recipe for success or anything like that.
Well, there's another thing actually that I wanted to extend to you to think about is the distractions in modern day society. Do you think that there's a lot of them? Do you think that it comes to the individual to kind of push them away or to barricade himself? Or do you think that the distractions are too much and too rich for the simple primate mind that is in our heads? Do you think that it is all willpower to kind of, not go on social media as much? Or I believe that everyone has had one of those YouTube marathons where you want to check something for 3 to 5 minutes and then you check the time and it seems that 3 hours of your life have passed.
You're describing a regular Monday night.
Yeah. And you're watching something like a man fighting a kangaroo or something like that.
Yeah.
So do you think that there are a lot of distractions, or do you think that it is to each individual's strength?
Probably we can somehow divide the distraction like external ones and internal ones. Because, for example, what I think is that my phone distracts me a lot. This is external distraction. And let's say, I don't have a TV here, but let's say when I go back home, because I'm not from Plovdiv, and there is something that's more important for me. This is the internal distraction, as I divide it for myself. I don't know if it's correct, but I see it this way. And these are the thoughts that you have in your head. Let's say, I have to buy this and this and this, and it's in my head and I cannot focus on what I'm studying. And there was one method, I saw it on YouTube. It's like pretty simple. You just take this sheet of paper and you write everything that's in your head. And then you know that it's written and you're not going to forget it. So you just put it aside, everything that's in your head, and then you can actually start to, really learn more effectively what you want to learn. And also something else to add, you said about breaking the assignment, and probably for me what works is putting a time frame for each one of them so I can actually see the progress. Like if I have to study a whole book, a whole textbook, let's say physics 1, I'll be like, that's so hard, it will take me a lot of time, but if I break it, so 1 lesson per day, and I say this, let's say 15 lessons, I will do this in 15 days. And I'm happier, more relaxed, because I know it will be done if I follow this every day.
Yeah, that's very nice. That's something I do, but do not overextend, or I should not overextend this, because I usually do things slowly, like really slowly. Really slowly. So I often enough I don't reach the time limit I given to myself. And when I have too many time limits, and when I actually start reaching the end of the time limit, I'm getting stressed out. I'm not making it in time. You're kind of distracting yourself from being concentrated. So I think for myself that I shouldn't do this as much for everything. Just give a big time frame so you understand. On the other hand, if you give yourself a too big time frame, you start procrastinating. And you say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll catch up tomorrow." Yeah. You don't. So yeah, keep the tasks you want to achieve today. So keep them under your control, and don't get too stressed out. Yeah, that's the whole point.
I can relate to that because I also get stressed out when, you know, I see like 5 minutes left and I still have a lot to read.
Yeah.
So I just put a little bit more time, or I divide it and do a quick break, let's say 5 minutes or something like that. But it's also a problem for me too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you to everybody that participated in the discussion. We can continue on the topic after the meeting, but now we have an agenda to keep. Although it was very interesting to hear your opinions, it's time to get back to the task at hand, which was the evaluation of Angel's speech about his story of having a mentor. And the evaluator will be Vasilin. So, welcome, Vasilin.
So, Angel's speech was about mentorship, and specifically he had the assignment to talk about a time when he was a prodigy. So, on the note that this specific assignment was achieved perfectly, I have no regards about that assignment more than you choose your topic and your story very correctly. I think that all in all, your speech was very, very interesting. It was very inspiring for all of us because you almost put us on the spot of where you were when you were a prodigy. And I think that it was very interesting. You were very confident, by the way. It was something you excel at. Being very confident, being well experienced as a speaker, I think, is a very good thing that you have on your side. And you have good comfort on the stage to look at all the people, to use your gestures. Your eye contact was very great. You used your eyes to put an example as what you did on that very day, like looking at the ceiling or with your hands, what you're doing, because you didn't know how to use your hands at the moment. So when you were in that day when you were a prodigy, and I think that it was as a whole a good story, because in the end you started with the first part was a bit prolonged until you got to where you said you were a prodigy, but it was necessary to put us right on the atmosphere of where you were. And I think that the first part of your speech was very interesting. It grabbed the attention, and it was very fast-paced, dynamic, very emotional. And for something to work on, I would like for you to keep up this emotion, like throughout the whole of the speech. Sometimes this is why I recommended you to have a comedian speech sometimes, because it will be very fun for me to watch you do it and to be a very, very open and emotional throughout the whole speech. All in all, I think that your speech was great. You definitely captured the point of your assignment, and I hope to see and hear your next assignment and speech very soon.
I'll welcome you in just a bit again.
Right.
Master. But before that, I want to give a quick reminder to use the grammarian's idiom and word of the day. Because when I'm a grammarian, usually the thing that breaks the camel's back, or the straw that breaks the camel's back, is someone not using my word and idiom. So please think about that when you're delivering the speech. And another thing is for our timer to use her cards when the time is appropriate. Now, as the table topic session commences, we probably will have people speaking here, usually maybe in 1 to 2 minutes, correct?
Correct.
So when they reach the first minute, I'll give them the green card, When they reach minute and a half, give them the yellow, and when they reach the second minute, give them the red. In order to signal them, because we want to have a winner at the end. But the table topics master will explain the table topic session throughout. And please again welcome Veselin.
Thank you very much. Perhaps I can, because we have no sergeants at arms, I can use your help. These little pieces of paper need to be distributed to everyone. Single lines. Okay? All right. Go.
Much thanks.
Here we go. All right. What is a table topics? So table topics is a segment of tonight, in which we have speeches. Again, this is what public speaking and Toastmasters is about. So when there is a time when we have to think on our feet and speak on our feet. This is what we train in table topics, in the table topic session. So tonight it's not going to be the usual of our table topics. Only I know what will be our main theme for tonight as a table topics. But firstly, I want to disclose all the rules. Everyone can join in, even the guests. So whoever wants to can just reach out. Firstly, timer.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Timer, can you show the green card at 1 minute?
Yes.
Yeah. The yellow at 1 minute 30, and the red at minutes 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you have between 1 and 2 minutes to speak. And before I wish you good luck, I want for you all to pick up these pieces of paper and guess what? Right, of course, we're at the end of the year. So what comes with the new year?
A resolution.
Resolutions. Come on, write your resolutions. We're gonna talk about.
Can you give me one more, please?
Of course. You can write your New Year's resolution here, and you're gonna talk about it. Come on, we have 1 minute to do so. Yes.
How many?
Just the biggest one. The biggest one. Think big. Come on. What do you want to achieve in the year that follows, right?
Oh.
Come on. You can do it.
Christiana has already achieved everything.
I'm far
She's
behind
not the president.
achieving everything.
She's not the president yet, so. Write something very personal. Come on. Something that's not very likely.
Likely to happen or?
No. Yeah, why not? Why not? Think big, dream, come on. Who knows, it might happen, actually. You might be the next president of the United States.
Yes.
Or not.
I don't know, Victor.
Okay. So, is everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay, so you envision what you want to achieve next year. But I forgot to mention something. You're not going to talk about your New Year's resolution.
We knew.
Yeah. Or it's highly unlikely to talk about your New Year's resolution. Put them here, come on. Okay.
Don't worry, Lori's not here, nothing crazy will be there. Oh, okay.
All right. Okay. So quite a few. All right. Come on. All right. Who wants to talk? All right, come on. Choose.
Choose one.
Yeah, you have to.
what?
You read it.
Okay.
You read it, and you have to talk about it. Why do you want to do it, and how do you plan to do it?
Okay. So
Okay.
it's bring my friends together. How am I going to do that? Mr. Toastmaster, sorry, Mr. Table Topics Master, dear guests, and fellow Toastmasters. So how am I going to do that? Actually, next year I'm hopefully organizing my wedding. So it's a very big task, and I'm actually going to do my best to bring all of my friends from quite a few countries, because I have been living in London for the last 6 years. So I'm going to bring friends from there, from US, and even from Saudi Arabia, hopefully. So how am I going to do that? I still haven't figured it out, but I'm trying to find some new ways to promote our beautiful city, and not just my wedding, but please come and see our European capital of culture for next year. So trying to find a way to maybe to combine those two and inspire the people to join me. So
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, the European Capital of Culture is something very grandiose. It's something that I hope to be very big and very interesting. So bring your fans. It's not something that they want to miss. Okay? All right. Please state your name for all of us to know your name, because you.
Oh, sorry, Thea, sorry.
Yes, because you have been blonde lady in my notes.
With an H or.
E.
Okay.
Doesn't matter actually. It's
Yeah,
fine, as long as
because
people- as long as
if
people
you
know.
write it in English.
It's fine,
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
All right.
It's fine.
There.
If you put an H, it won't be T.
Yeah, H at the end.
It's alright.
It's okay. It's okay, right?
Yes.
All right.
No need.
It's not that hard. Come on. All right, our speaker for tonight. Welcome to the stage.
Here?
Pick your luck.
Okay, so my resolution will be more consistent. Follow the good goals I set for myself, since I tend to abandon them too easily.
Uh-oh.
No, it's not.
I'm just joking as usual. I hope this is not the last straw, so that you will kick me out of the meeting. So, this is actually a great New Year's resolution, and I want to be more constant, to be honest. I want to be more consistent with my goals, and how am I going to achieve them? Well, basically, I was thinking a lot about that, and since a lot of people admonished me to use special treats, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to break down all of my goals, like you mentioned, Mr. Stianov, I hold in great regard. Break them down into simple tasks, put those tasks in a box with a nice tree, and I will only be able to open the boxes, get the treat, if I complete the task. So this is how I'm going to set myself and not abandon the goals that much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was very nice. Andrew.
Just in time.
Okay. Did he reach the 1 minute?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, Casey, come on.
Okay, next year my resolution is to eat healthy and lose 15 kilograms. Well, I know how I'm gonna do it. First of all, I already have a schedule to run a full marathon. And every week, I will run 4 times a week. And every Sunday is gonna be my long run, where I run 10, 15, 20 kilometers. Then, for my healthy schedule, I will eat more healthy foods, like vegetables and fruits and
Donuts.
fresh juices, maybe donuts from time to, maybe twice a month. Only twice a month. Well, I have to lose 15 kilograms until the end of 2019. So, also, what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna go more often to the mountains, because there is a lot of fresh air, not like here in Plovdiv, and you know how good fresh air is for your body. I think that this is gonna also help me a lot. And maybe do some hiking with my friends and family, and that's it.
All right. Okay. So, it's very interesting, very fun. Who wants to join? All right, Mr. President.
Thank you. Now, I know which one is mine, but I will pick it, I will choose it. That will be fair. Organize the perfect yet not too perfect wedding.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
It was about time.
You should see the groom. Yeah. Am I a lucky one? Well, the thing about Bulgarian weddings are that everyone has to be a part of the wedding. And I do mean everyone. Your family members, their family members, everyone else that lives on your street, maybe some of their relatives. But it has to be big, it has to be grandiose, you know. And because I have a lot of friends in London, in the US, in Saudi Arabia, I will, you know, invite them as well. They will also invite their relatives. Well, maybe not the Saudi Arabians, because, you know, it's a strange state they live in, and we don't want any, you know, they're going to have a problem crossing the borders. That's all. I don't want to have not a lot of free space at the wedding, you know, chairs that are filled. And yeah, and chevernet, because it's traditional Bulgarian, not maybe for the weddings, but it's traditional Bulgarian style to have a chevernet. So yes, less Saudi Arabians, more chevernet. That's it.
That's it. Well, I would admonish for you to have a chevernet on your wedding, and
After
because
all, it's Cheverme and Saudi Arabians, not Saudi Arabians on Cheverme. Still good.
because in the end, this is something very traditional for us Bulgarians, and that's something that we all share as a common love. Okay, so who else wants to try? All right.
If I know that I won't be getting mine.
Yeah.
If you don't know that you went from. learn better English and German. To go to a country where I have never been before. I can relate to that because I have been struggling to learn German for like the past 4 years. It's a really tedious task. I have repeatedly started over and over from the alphabet until some of the more complicated grammar yet. I always find myself abandoning my goals and not following through. Oh, I'm sorry. So my best advice for someone who wants to learn a new language is for them to probably find a use for it. Like, I haven't found a use for German, therefore I haven't put my heart on learning it as of yet. Can't say the same for English though. And as far as going to another country, I mean, that's probably a resolution that we all have. I mean, all of us want to go to different countries, experience new things, be part of different cultures and exchange our own culture. So, if I had to give advice on countries you should visit, I would say that Italy is a great place that you can enjoy wherever you go. In the winter, the summer, a great place all around. Thank you.
Okay. Someone else? All right. I like the enthusiasm.
Hello everybody, my name is Neda,
Thank
and
you.
my New Year resolution is my New Year resolution is to find out what I want to do with my life. I think everybody has this question in their heads, right? Everybody. This is like the most asked question to yourself, like, what should I do now? For example, when you finish school, when you finish university, and finding the goal, the meaning of your life is the most important thing. At least I think so, and I'm pretty sure you also think so, right? Because it's about helping the people, or I don't know, everybody has something in their heads that they want to do. For example, me, when I graduated from high school, I wanted to travel. That was the only thing in my life, and I wanted to travel a lot. But I was thinking about probably I have to study something. And after that, I can get a good job, and then I can get money, and then I can travel. But then something else started, a thought started walking in my head. Probably I can work with traveling. And for the moment, I am thinking about starting something in the field of tourism. So I can be, let's say, a tour guide or something like that, and I can travel and get paid for that. And also, what else? Something else that I want to do is to be a non-formal education trainer. So I can go to different Erasmus Plus projects all around the world, and you travel, you have fun there, and you get paid. Well, for me, this is the meaning of my life. Like first to travel and to help people. So right now, I'm trying to think more about it, how I can help people this way. And I was speaking with one boy. He was from UK, and he told me about something like a campaign. They are hitchhiking for charity. So I can do something like that. Hitchhike for charity, and this can be the meaning of my life, to help people and travel. So I can combine it somehow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so no, you can. All right.
You know me.
All right. So your name was Neda, right?
Neda.
Okay.
Yes, you were brown hair lady.
What?
You were brown hair lady before this.
Okay. So brown hair lady was very good at speaking in front of people. You have done it before?
I've done it,
Oh, okay.
but I want to improve. So.
We all do. And how do you improve?
By volunteering for the next piece of paper.
All right, he knows, he knows. I would admonish you to stand up and speak. Come on.
No.
How many are there?
3.
Just 3.
Just 3.
I have one too.
Okay. Come on.
learn to bake all kinds of bread. So I'm gonna cook this year. You know that smell when you have turned on the machine, the bread machine, and then you've been somewhere at the university, and then you go home, and it smells like heaven. It smells perfect. And then you have your lunch ready for you, like waiting. It brings your family together. It makes you happy. It makes you full. And it makes others happy too. So that's my goal for the next year. I'm gonna bake bread. And also I'm gonna try to watch my diet, because bread is a little bit like, we should be careful with it. And also I will try to bake other stuff so that I can, like we need diversity.
Yeah, bread, right?
Bread.
No one's bigger than the bread. Some Bulgarian proverb. It is a Bulgarian proverb. Okay, so we have two more. By the way, what's the time?
8:15.
All right, so we do have time. One or two more people. Come on.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexander. Nice to meet you all.
Okay.
So let's see. My resolution is get more acquainted, more skills and knowledge needed for being a non-formal education trainer. I can say who is it. So, how I'm gonna do it, I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous, sorry for that. I think the key moment here is to set that goal. I mean, when we talked about the procrastination, I think the key moment is the 5-second gap. I mean, you come up with the idea and you have like 5 seconds to take action. Is it to write it down or something? You just got to take action. I think that's the main thing here. You got to take action first. And I don't know. Take action, I think. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. It was a bit brief. Did he reach the 1 minute?
Barely.
Very good. Wow. You are classified. No, classified.
You made
I'm
it.
writing it down.
You're.
Qualified.
I forgot the word. Marian qualified. Qualified. Thank you. To run for our best table topic speaker tonight. And one more. It's very interesting, by the way. I can see it. Okay. You don't have the option to choose, but.
Oh.
Simeon, probably.
My name is Evgenia,
Yes.
and for the new year, I wish to create value.
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 Very interesting.
So, I would like to create value for whole my life. And as we discussed before, I would like to answer the question why I live and what I live for, and what are my goals and my aims. And I would like for sure to maybe to meet new people, to get new skills, to be better in communication in Bulgarian and in English, to have a job that I like, to have the time and the possibility to travel, to do something good for my friends, for my family, and for people that I don't know. And all these things will bring me happiness, and in this way I will feel my life more valuable, and I will feel better, and I will achieve more things in my life. Thank you.
And we're all out of New Year's resolutions. So, Eddie? Right? Evgeny.
Evgeny.
Okay. Okay. Something very nice that you mentioned, that to make other people happy is value. So it's something to remember. And now it comes the time for us to choose who we want to be, who we think is our best table topics speaker tonight. In front of you, you still should have pieces of paper. And if you don't, raise your hand, I can give you. And write the name of the person who you think did the best. First off was Stan, then it was Angel. Chrissy was after him. Simon. Christo. Neda. Right? Valia. Alexander. And Evgeny. So you already put your votes in. That was quite fast. So someone else? Okay, so with all that being said, I think that it was a very nice little table topic session. I think that I had very much quite an enjoyable time. I hope that you did too, because in the end, this was not just bring out your goals. It was to know the goals of all the people that are in our room, in this room, right? It was supposed to bring us together, to get to know each other a little bit better. And I hope to achieve this goal, to bring us closer. For the next year, I want to wish you all good luck and be the love this world needs, because it does need love.
Tell us your resolution.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you so.
My New Year's resolution.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps mine is closest to, if I have to talk with concrete certain things. Yeah, I want to achieve, to pass my attorney's exam, or want to develop myself further into the law section. But I think I want to develop more as a person, because I am just figuring out that everyone has flaws, I have mine, and I want to be the best version of myself possible, because I want to bring this person, me, to the world I want to see, right? So these things are connected. I want to be the person that this world needs. I want to see the world, to change the world for the better, and to change myself for the better. Right?
Yeah.
To be the change you want to see in this world, right? Well, I hope to achieve that, and I really hope for me to inspire you to do this yourself. How do we do that? You said it, by the way. Bring value, by bringing happiness, bringing love, bringing freedom to all people. And you're thinking, yeah, wow, well, that was very bland and
Yeah, that's exactly.
disgusting, but it's actually not. It's actually not. There is true, concrete meaning behind the words love and compassion and freedom and being there for the person next to you
And children.
and children, and friendship and all these stuff. Because
concrete at all.
it may sound a little bit weird,
No,
but this is what our world needs. So thank you. I hope you have a good night tonight. Oh, and oops, electrifying. Oh, and in the end, I will announce the winner of tonight's table topic session.
Well, thank you, Russell. Man, some electrifying words tonight. Hit me. But yeah, thank you for the table topic session. Very interesting. Thank you to the guests that participated. Great. Everyone did great, by the way. Even the ones that got harder topics also did a great job. Everybody spoke in the time frame, and everybody spoke. You know, and sometimes we have people who tap out. Tonight we all did great. So good job to all of us. And with that being said, it's time to go to the more formal part of the meeting, which is the reports. And first, we have to start with the timer, but he's also our uncounter for tonight, a multitasker, very fun. So please, welcome.
Yes, so I took over as timer, like the start of the table topic session, so I can't really speak for the latter part, but
just say we did great.
okay, yes, you did amazing. You are all fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you.
When it comes to the table topics, all of you spoke for the exact amount of time. All of us qualified for the competition, and
Big
some are
award.
going to win. So no complaints there. I guess going to the more the more important part, the and counting. Starting with Angel and his presentation, I only wrote splendid. I didn't detect any any pauses that were necessary, so I think you did a great job. Vesus evaluation was also without any or us, one longer pause and one time you repeated a word you said before, but nothing major. After that, during the discussion, Sim had one just also pretty normal. Valentina had 3 likes, 1 longer pause and 2 as well. So I guess you can work on trying to cut out the likes. Chrissy only had 1 again pretty normal. Vesu said so yeah, 1 time, again just like the likes. Thea is our biggest offender for tonight. She had
Difficult to count.
about 20 in your speech. So as I told you last time, I see that you have this pattern of speech. However, I do think that you can clarify your English a little bit to the point that it's not only you making pauses, but you not saying the and us. Because you mostly say the while you're trying to make a pause in the speech, so you can easily not say anything during that time. Like the is a habit of yours that you can work on and it will improve your speech a lot. So that's the only thing. Nether had 3 The table topics, again, starting with Thea, who only had 1 during that time. So I guess you calmed yourself down, gathered some energy. Angel, again, no complaints there, again, clean. Chrissy had one longer pause and one nothing major. Simon had 2 and one So just like so, yeah, like. I had 2 that I counted, maybe more.
And now
Yeah, no, okay. But I was going easy on myself. God.
Bias.
Yeah. And then again, 1 longer pause and 2 Valentina had 3 longer pauses. Which I guess they were the product of you not being entirely sure what to say on the topic you got. Alexander had 3 and 1 longer pause, and Evgenia had 2 longer pauses and 1 Overall, I think we can do better actually on the and us. So that would be a point to emphasize for our next meeting.
New Year's resolution.
Yeah, cut down and calories.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great job. Dual work. Amazing. And now we're going to hear from our grammarian. Tell us, please, how we did with our grammar.
we did awful.
Oh no.
I'm kidding.
Yes. We did great, actually. I noticed one more. I noticed just a few mistakes, but they're not mistakes. I think it's just, it happens because we're not native speakers. Come on. For example, I heard a sentence in which it was used something about conversations, and then conversations happens. It should be happen, which is, I don't think it's a mistake, it's more like, yes. Then in order to be good public speaking. And I think that what was meant was either in order to be good in public speaking or in order to be good public speaker.
Sorry to interrupt, but you're good at public speaking, not good in
At.
public speaking.
Okay, at another mistake, thank you. Then I heard consequence was not pronounced consequence, something else. Can we pronounce consequence in another way?
Consequences.
It was like
No.
consequence and
Consequence.
somebody pronounced
Thank
it like
you.
that.
Yes. Then always done a lot of think, which in my opinion was not a mistake, just something slip of the tongue. And I heard a lot of good things. I heard to disclose the rules. That was good. And then I heard to be a great stepping stone to growth,
Yes.
which I think is also good to use and add to our vocabulary when we speak. And tonight we have 3 winners.
Oh.
The only 3 people that used my word immediately. Thank you so much to Angel, Veselin, and Sim. Thank you. You used it twice.
May I add also something?
Yes.
I believe it was a great use of English to use this word from Bulgarian, borrow word cheverme. It
Yes,
made
that
us
was good.
feel great.
Also.
Well, it doesn't have a translation, so we should use the words.
Exactly. I mean, we made English
Yeah.
rich.
It's like
Yes.
it's like
I thought you were gonna say we made English.
Yes.
Sentence.
Would have also been true.
New Year's resolution, maybe.
Okay, well, thank you, Cristiano. Thank you for. By the way, admonish. That's the first time I hear that word.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
Really?
Yes.
Good.
I
I'm
would
glad you were-
admonish you to use more words such as this in your future grammarian roles. And now it's time to hear from our general evaluator, Valentina. Tell us how we did generally with our organization tonight.
We did great. We started a little bit late, as always. There weren't many of us, but that made us all speak, which was a good thing. We were really close and we got to know each other like before the Christmas holidays. We were flexible, and Vesu was moonlighting. Yes. I loved the discussion we made, and I saw some new faces, which is good. We have new people, and we had our resolutions for the new year. We have what to work on. I have what to work on, and I felt the spirit of Toastmasters. Think about it, and I would want to admonish you to spend some holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I was expecting some negatives, but we all
Well,
did perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
We were.
It's too Christmassy
Yeah.
for
Yes,
negatives.
let's not focus on the negatives on the last meeting
Yeah.
this year.
All positives here.
Yes. Everything is forgotten for tonight.
From the bright side.
Yes, we should from the bright side. And because we said bright side, I want to welcome the brightest fellow
The
tonight.
brightest of the sun.
Right?
We're going to give us the winner of the tabletop session.
Okay, so the winner tonight is no, there's one here. The winner tonight is I'm very happy to announce is a guest, and it is Neda. Your best table topics reward for tonight, and can we have a photograph?
We do have your consent for a photograph.
Yeah.
right?
All the
Written?
paperwork is done.
Great.
All right. So this is for you. And I hope for you this is just one of the first rewards you achieve here in Toastmasters.
Okay.
And Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Veso. Congratulations. Great job. And with that being said, it's time to close out the meeting. But before that, a couple of things. First of all, when will be our next meeting? It has to be, if we follow the calendar, the first Wednesday of next month, which is the 2nd of January. Shall we be having it then, or shall we skip it and go right to the 3rd and then continue on from February?
Well, perhaps we can do it in this, just for January, in the 2nd or 4th. Can we can speak to Ivan if
We have
it's-
to talk to them.
Yes. Okay, so let's,
So we shall announce it
yeah.
as an event.
But should we now distribute roles or?
Yes.
Yes?
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, then who will be here next time when we decide when will be next time?
More probably in January, so probably I'm going to be here.
After the holidays. Okay, fantastic. I see 2 guests. Do you want to take roles for next time?
Probably.
The roles we give out to guests are timer and encounter as a demo roles.
Yeah.
You know, to help you get the feel of organization-wise how the meetings proceed. So, would you like to take one of the roles?
Yeah, so I can say probably, let's say the timer.
The timer. Okay, then we'll connect with you on Facebook if you have a Facebook.
Yes, I do.
Great, fantastic. And we'll give you information there
Yeah.
in order and help you out.
Yeah, because we usually.
Yeah, I can reprise my role as grammarian.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job tonight. So,
Grammarian,
Okay.
not an encounter.
But this is going to be on the
Oh, okay,
2nd.
no, I
No,
meant.
no, yeah, we want a grammarian.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I thought you said encounter, sorry.
I'm cool with
Grammarian.
grammarian.
Okay,
It's
let's
actually
go.
even better.
Okay, grammarian.
They said grammarian, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just for you.
And
Just for you.
Thank you. It's easier to judge people. Okay.
Is this going to be
No.
on the 2nd or on the 3rd? Because I didn't really get it.
It will be on the 9th. It's the
On the
second,
2nd.
yes, the second week of January.
The 2nd week?
Yes.
Well, we haven't decided on the date yet because it's kind of
Okay.
difficult
If it's
for.
going to be the 2nd week, then I can do it. Because until the 3rd of January, I wouldn't be able to come.
Yeah, I think that most of the
Probably
people,
in-
most of the people
Okay.
here.
are actually occupied.
So, Christopher Gomery. Okay. And on counter, we can give this to another guest if they think they will join us. If not, any of the members.
There will be guests, so let's keep it open.
Okay, we'll give them open.
I'm sure.
The members.
I want an evaluation and just an evaluation.
All right.
Okay. You,
Perhaps,
Counselor.
perhaps
You can
I-
prepare a speech, I believe. I can see it in your eyes. I can see the Christmas spirit and fire.
Perhaps maybe a Toastmaster meeting.
Okay.
So that leaves Simo you to prepare a speech.
Yeah.
Fine.
For the wedding, you'll need it anyway.
Ah, yes. The Cheverme. The history of the Cheverme.
Excellent choice. But also you have to use not just paper helps, but
Yeah.
I'll bring one. That's it.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
The history and value, social value of the Cheverme. Okay, Valentina, will you be here?
Yeah, I think I will. And I will complete the role, but I don't know.
Why not have a prepared speech? You haven't spoken since last year. Almost last
Kinda.
year. It's gonna be last year.
Next year.
Next year.
Well,
I'll write you down for a speech.
yeah.
And if
But
you decide,
I'm thinking about it
you
actually.
think I can see it in your face.
But like, I'm a procrastinator.
Act on it.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's your conscience
That's a good
speaking to you.
advice.
Pathways is great. I really enjoyed preparing my speech today
Really?
again because honestly, the way that they write the different parts of the training are really professional. Really very well made without any obsolete words or waste of time.
Great.
Really good.
Chris, you?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Okay. Then we'll distribute the rest of the rules in our Facebook group.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing in the closing is to give the floor to our first-time guests. So, because I wasn't here last time, who are our first-time guests tonight? Do we have any? So, would like to give us a few words, firstly about yourself, and then about the meeting. Did you enjoy it? What can we improve upon, and so on. So, let's start with the lady first. Okay. You can do it from here, from there, everywhere.
No problem.
Okay, so my name is Nedam, and I'm studying everything I can, but formally I'm studying engineering physics, and it's my second year, but I'm very interested in non-formal education, and right now I am struggling between, like not struggling, I would say balancing between these two things, physics, science, and non-formal education. And also I love art, I'm a musician, and I love drawing, painting, and crafting everything. About the meeting, I really enjoyed it. I've been following the page and checking the event for, I don't know, like several months. But I never got the chance to come. And I think this is the right time because I believe that everything happens at the right time. And I think that it will be very helpful for me in order to improve and to be more confident to speak in front of people and to, to challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone. And it was, I really like the table topics.
Oh,
That
I hope
was
you enjoyed it.
the most favorite thing tonight. So thank you, and thank you to everyone.
Hello again. My name is Alexander. I'm 20 years old. It's my first time here, and I'm glad I came. It was a great experience for me. And I'm studying linguistics and marketing. Don't ask me what's the link between the two. And yeah, I really enjoyed the time here. And I think I will come more often.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
the experience.
You, sir, you joined us late. Would you like to say a few words? You can even use in Bulgarian if English is a problem.
My experience a little in the speak English.
Okay. Okay. then probably in Bulgarian. If you want.
I understand, but
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the meeting? Did you find it?
so.
So. Okay, great.
I would like to say something.
All right.
Basically, just to remind you all that Toastmasters is a non-profit organization, so we don't have a budget for advertising. I want to ask you all to like our webpage, in Facebook, sorry, not our webpage, but in Facebook. And you can check out the webpage, by the way, it's great, toastmasters.org. Also, Toastmasters has a very good LinkedIn channel that you can follow, it's really good. And in our page, I often repost things that they create, some very professional interviews, some very professional articles. And by liking our page, we can grow because organic advertisement on Facebook is basically based on your activities, on your likes, on your shares, on your interest in the event, and the change of status, the going especially. So if you haven't joined our webpage, our Facebook page, please do so. I promise it will be interesting. So just a few words, if you want to join the club, what's the difference in benefits? The people who are able to join the club become members and can participate in giving speeches and have access to the curriculum, which is an excellent curriculum developed in the US. I can tell you it's really good. It's made as an electronic training, which takes about half an hour to complete in order to learn the skill that is targeted for it. And then you create a speech by researching the topic. So you both prepare a speech and learn something new. You can see more information on this little pamphlet in the middle of the table about the curriculum called Pathways. And if you want to become a member, you can speak to Simo, to Stoyan, or any of the members. The cost is really minimal because you basically pay your assignment to the curriculum, to our American mother base. Whilst here for Bulgaria, it is a matter of organizing the meetings in this place and paying for some simple stuff that we use during the meeting. So thanks.
Stoyan, would you like to say something?
Yeah. My name is Vasilin Stoyan. But
Sorry, Stoyan.
no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem.
It's not because I have to buy you a new shirt now.
Yeah, why not? That would be quite lovely for Christmas.
Okay, 3 things and closing the meeting. For this year, closing Toastmasters meetings for this year. Firstly, we should all go down as a unit because there is an alarm.
Yeah.
Secondly, we tend to have a drink or something to eat. That's incorrectly, tend to have a drink. We go for a drink and something to eat at Terzo Mondo after every meeting if there are a lot of people that want to join in to have a more informal chat, talking to one another, something that is beside Toastmasters, but if you want even about Toastmasters, you know how discussions work, I shouldn't be explaining them. So if anyone wants to join us, please, when we go down, we should wait for everybody in front of the building and go together at Terzo Mondo. And finally, I would please admonish you to have a selfie with us for our last meeting of this year. And with that being said, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. May you enjoy them in the warmth of your homes and families, surrounded by family members. And declare the meeting for this year, all of the meetings closed.
All right.
I asked him,